5 huge Emmerdale spoilers next week between Monday 24th and Friday 28th November 2025. Beowulf forced to commit heart-wrenching act. Rye pauses operations and Nicola does some digging online. Email is set to air its most harrowing scenes ever for Beowulf as his captors Ray Walters and Celia Daniels force him to complete a despicable act. This is as bleak as Emmerdale gets, and it's gut-wrenching to even picture. Rye is the talk of the village next week. Nicola King is wary of her best mate Laurel Thomas's relationship with him and decides to do some digging, while Mule Dylan Penders is told to stop pushing drugs as suspicions rise. Elsewhere, Lydia Dingle's quest for Jason Donovan tickets turns sour and Kev Townsend is arrested after Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle's scheme put their plan into action. Beowulf is forced to bury his enslaved friend Anna. Following Anna's death, Bear is distraught to hear that her body has been dumped in the feed shed. Enraged, he reaches boiling point and confronts Rye. Rye manages to talk Bear round, but is worried when he insists on attending Anna's funeral. Celia forms a plan, and that evening reveals that they're to have a makeshift ceremony in one of Butler's fields. Bear is horrified by the lack of formality, and even more so when he's told to dig her grave. I think this moment will break Bear in two and possibly be the spark that finally makes him rebel. At the burial site, Bear makes an emotional speech. Firmly brainwashed by Rye and Celia, fellow slaves Mick and Simo try to convince him that he shouldn't trust Rye and tell him about their plans to escape. As Bear stares at a photo of Anna's daughter, he has thoughts of his own family and wonders whether to join in the plot or to stay. Sam and Lydia Dingle worry about their finances. Lydia is disheartened when she realizes she hasn't saved enough spare change to afford tickets to see Jason Donovan in concert. Little does she realize Belle and Sam have counted it up secretly and there's just enough money to buy them. However, when they go to purchase the tickets, they're all sold out. Secretly forming a new plan, they blindfold Lydia and lead her to a makeshift VIP experience at Wishingwell Cottage. She's touched by their gesture and steps up to the mic for a karaoke session. Suddenly, there's a power cut and Noah springs the news that they need to rewire. The cost will eat into Lydia's ticket fund, and with Belle finally getting her hands on some Jason Donovan tickets, she has to work with Sam to come up with a plan to find the cash. Kev Townsend is arrested after Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle's scheme. Robert tries to work out where Kev hid his money from last week's robbery, but soon begins to worry that Kev's clicked onto his secret relationship with Aaron. Liam's got a reason for concern too. Kev has asked him to back up his lie to Robert about pretending that his heart condition was a misdiagnosis. Later, as Robert and Aaron attempt to get him out of their lives for good, Chaz agrees to help. Liam interrupts and demands to know their plan, but it quickly becomes clear that he's holding something back. Under pressure, he admits that Kev was never terminally ill. It's clear this lie detonates any sympathy left for Kev, and I expect Robert and Aaron to harden fast. Reeling by the news, the four kickstart their mission. While Kev checks his loot in the church, Aaron watches on from afar and makes a call to Robert, determined to put him away for good. D.S. Carter then arrives, taking him down to Houghton Police Station for questioning about the armed robbery. Ray Walters pauses the drugs operation as police swarm the village. Dylan and Dilly are gobsmacked to see the police arrive at the depot to investigate reports of drugs being shifted through the premises. Jai is baffled by the investigation and suggests they speak to Caleb. Rye is spooked and tells Dylan to put a pause on operations before assuring him in April that he's still on the lookout for their rat. Nicola King digs for information online. Laurel is excited ahead of a date with Rye, but an intrigued Nicola decides to do some digging on his past. After trawling through the internet, she can't find any trace of him. But will she warn Laurel? No digital footprint in 2025 is a blazing red flag, and Laurel needs to hear that now.